Chromebook presents Michaela J. on The Adulthood, a series about finding your way in the modern world.
It's Michaela J. here on The Adulthood. Today, we're talking about real representation in storytelling and why lifting up different voices is so important. Alrighty, let's do it. So as a kid, I was always the one to shine very bright in a dark room. I was always considered different, quirky, or just out of place. My mind always geared towards female, always. And with expressing that came backlash. That sparked a fire under me to be rebellious and keep being me. I would encourage the next generation to just walk with their heads held high, to live out loud. I had to take some time to grow into my identity as a trans individual who is a woman and as a person who is of color, who is intersectional with all of those. And being that there weren't a lot of representation of trans people, I looked to stories. So for instance, Cinderella. My mother never treated me like the stepchild, but I felt like the world treated me like a stepchild. Cinderella finally got in that glass slipper to have a fairy godmother come along and say, here's this dress, you're going to the ball. And I said, I'm gonna be the princess that no one would ever see coming. And she came through. This ball that I'm partaking in, it's the world. I would tell any younger individual who's coming up in a time where they don't have a clue how to be their own representation, write your own stories. That is what I had to bring to Blanca, to bring her and the story of Pose to life. I loved curating that, taking pieces of my life, as far as my mother, as far as the trans women that were in my life in the ballroom scene, as far as myself, and making sure that I gave the best example of how we as women of African American and Latina descent, who so happen to be trans, are. Storytelling can really change the narrative, especially if you tell a story that is rooted in realism with a little bit of glitter added on top of it. That's what technology is doing for all of us today. It's amplifying our voices and it's making us more confident in our voices. I would tell young people, make sure that you're using it to amplify the voices of people who don't have a voice to be amplified. You have to get the stories from the source itself. It opens minds and it opens hearts. And you see the light that is just beaming in each and every one of those people. I look at each and every last one of the humans on this earth as stars. Some people like to be regular stars, and then you have supernova stars. The ones that are like, I'm gonna shine until I can't shine no more, child. I gotta burst. And then they just release another bed of opportunities for birthing of more stars. Younger people can channel that inner star in any form they can. Lead with heart, soul, and mind. You have to pump through with some stardust on your heels, baby. You have to shine.